Hi, my name is Daniel Favada. I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Interviewing today with the PissedConsumer about Metro Ford of Oklahoma City off of Northwest 39th Expressway and the lack of service and professionalism and customer care that I receive. Okay, so I bought the truck brand new. It's my second truck I bought from this dealership, and I've always had a good experience with them before. And part of the deal with the agreement I made with them when I bought the $54,134 truck was that I would get regular oil changes. They call it the royal treatment, where you bring it in at the mileage or the time, and it's a program where they take care of the oil changes and all the maintenance on it. I don't have time for that, and so I agreed to that. So I have a work truck and I have this truck. This is my personal truck. And every time that it would come up for the service, religiously, I've got all the paperwork, and I'll hold it up here. I've got all the paperwork right here of every time that I went in there and did their service, even though normally it's 3,000 to 5,000 miles before you change the oil. They said that because of the time that had passed, that I still needed to do the oil changes. No problem. I went in there and did it. When one of the oil changes, the third or fourth one, and I have to go through this, the third or fourth oil change, I took it up there, and I had no problem with taking it up there to them and getting a ride to work, and because it was always during working hours. So it always cost me time and money to get it done, but you got to do the maintenance on your vehicles. So anyway, I take it up there to them. I get my oil changed. I go pick the thing back up that afternoon, and they give you a little report that has little color codes on it, and supposedly they go through everything. Here's an example right here. I don't know how good you can see it, but they go through everything on your truck and check your fluids and your wipers and make any recommendations. Everything comes back green because the truck only had, at that time, 2,800 miles on it. So of course everything's going to come back green because it's a brand new truck. Also, on that note, I run only premium fuel in it. I run cleaners through it to make sure that the fuel lines stay clean, and I do my personal maintenance. I check the air pressures all the time and keep up with it. And even though it isn't driven a lot, it is started at a minimum of once a week. Every weekend when I'm out piddling in the yard or whatever, I'll start it, run it, check it out. I mean, it's $54,000. I'm going to play with it. And I'm a working guy. I'm not a rich man, so that's a major investment. And this was supposed to be my retirement truck. I bought this truck. It was supposed to be the last truck I bought because I'm looking at retiring. And anyway, that's kind of off the subject. But so I take it in for the oil change. And then that day I had some things to do in the truck. So I drove around for the remainder of the day and then parked the truck. I get up the next morning and I notice there's a large puddle of oil underneath the truck. And this was on 219. I'm sorry. 210 is when they did this work. Anyway, the oil's all under the truck, so I call the service advisor up and I say, there's a large puddle of oil under my truck, and I just checked the oil. I know how to check oil. I checked the oil, and there's almost no oil on the dipstick at all. He says, okay, we'll take care of it. Bring it back up to us. So I go take my daughter's car, go get oil, fill it up to where it's supposed to be, take it up to them, and drop it off with their service department. They said, once again, get a ride to work, all that stuff, additional cost. And they said that we'll take care of it for you. When I get back there, and I've got the ticket right here. It says, and I'll just read what it says. After customer states he has an oil leak underneath vehicle. Noticed a puddle in the driveway. Check and advise. The technician, Jacob Anderson, after confirming the customer concern, found the Ford oil filter put on was not all the way tight. I can't buy a Ford oil filter. That came from them. This is the very next day after they did the oil change. Tightened the oil filter correctly and cleaned off all the oil. Let it run for 30 minutes. No other oil problems found. Okay, so at that point, the service manager was very apologetic. Dan, what we're going to do for you is we're going to give you additional royal treatment, oil changes to take care of this for you. However, we do recommend Oh, okay, so we're going to do this for you. So at that point, I'm a happy camper. I live about 5 miles away from the shop or from the service center. So this is on a weekend. I drive it home and park it and didn't notice anything because it's just 5 miles. Anyway, the next time I go to use a truck, I notice that there's a miss in the truck. Like underneath the seat, I can feel a miss in it. And this truck, I was so proud of it because it ran so smooth. There was times that even after it was running, I would reach up and accidentally hit the starter because I couldn't tell it was running. Now there's no question there's a vibration in it. So I call him up, tell him about the vibration, and he says, okay, bring it back up. So I bring it back up there, and it was just about time for an oil change again, too, by that point. But anyway, I bring it back up. They do another oil change on it, no charge. But then he tells me that what he recommends is this BG oil treatment treatment for the motor for an additional, I think it was $66. And he said that should help smooth it out. Now, he didn't put any of that in writing. It's all in his, it's all hearsay or whatever. But he said it should help smooth it out. I said, sir, this didn't have this vibration in it before. The oil was let all out of it. And now now we're at 4,900 miles, call it. So 4,900 miles on a brand new truck, and I got a vibration and a miss in it. Anyway, he says that this should help smooth it out. So I go ahead and agree to it, pay the extra $66, and go about my business and drive. As I'm driving it, I'm noticing it's getting worse and worse and worse. This little vibration, and it's small, but it's not just a vibration; it's a miss. And I'm not a ASE certified mechanic, but I understand motors, and I can take them apart and put them back together. So I know it's got a miss in it. So I call them back up and I say, okay, here's what's going on. They say, no problem, sir. It's time for an oil change. Anyway, bring it back up to us. This was a month and a half ago. Roughly, I have to go through the tickets. So I'm okay. I'll bring it back up to you. And they're like, sir, we're going to make it right. They gave me all the good salesman answers. We're going to make it right. We're going to take care of you. Our customer matters. So I, once again, take it up there on a Monday morning, late for work, get a ride, cost me money, and don't hear from them for a week. So, like I said, it's 5 miles away, and I have a work truck, company truck. So I drive by the lot just to look and see where the truck is. Well, most dealerships have a bullpen where the service center has a bullpen where they keep the cars they're working on. Then they have an overflow lot where they keep the extra vehicles and it's sitting out in the overflow lot. And it's been snowing, so I look at the truck, and the whole bed of the truck is full. Tells me it's been out there the entire week that they've had it. So I go inside to the service man, ask for the service manager, and I'm being very professional, very polite. Where are we at on my truck? I haven't heard from you. What's going on? Well, the service manager that was working on your truck unfortunately had a car accident. He's in the hospital, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm understandable. I said, but my truck hasn't been worked on. Oh, yes, sir, it has, and we feel like we got it fixed. Okay. So I get in the truck, fire it up, drive it around the block, exact same thing's going on. So I drove it around about 5 miles to see if it'd clear up, turned back around, went it back into the service bay, and told them, I said, guys, it's doing the same exact thing. You didn't fix anything on it. Well, they hold that little chart up, and they go, everything's green on it. That it's not throwing any codes. Once again, I'm not an ASE certified mechanic, but internal motor damage does not throw a code. That's for the electronics of the motor, the firing of the motor, all that stuff. So leaving the oil out of it, in my opinion, has damaged something internal to the motor, the crankshaft, the timing chain, something. I tell the service manager or the service advisor that. He gives me the same story. Sir, you're very important to us. We're going to take care of you. However, it is now Friday night So anyway, he tells me that we want to take care of you, but it's Friday evening, so we need you to come back Monday morning and drop it off again. Still being amicable, no problem. He's telling me we're going to take care of you, So Monday morning, go through the whole shebang again. Late for work, drop it off after their time, get a ride, all that stuff. More cost to me. They keep it for a week again. No phone calls, no communication, no nothing. So, and there's a lady named Melody up there. I went up there that Friday to go, back up. I go by the building again, and once again, the truck's out in the overflow lot, not in there where you work on vehicles, out in the overflow lot. This is, so I'm assuming it's been there all week. And I'd washed the truck while I had it over the weekend, and it's covered. It had rained. It's covered with dirty red water. It's Oklahoma, we get red mud. So they left it sit out there for a week just to give me, I guess, so they could say, you know, we've had it for a week. We've been working on it. Not so much. So anyway, when I pulled it back in, the gentleman goes, we want to take care of you. The shop foreman himself sat in that truck, and they've gone through everything on it. It's not throwing any codes, and there's not a problem. Well, I had a bottle of water sitting in the cup holder in there, and you could physically see that the bottle of water is doing this as the truck is missing. And I said, do you see that? And he said, I do. I said, let me shut the truck off. Bottle smooths out. I turn it back on. Miss, yes. So he said, this is the gentleman. He was being extremely, you know, he was doing his customer service. We're going to take care of you. We're going to take care of it. I said, do you see this miss? He said, yes, it has a miss in it. And he said, let me go talk to the shop foreman again. Shop foreman, he went back there and talked to him. The shop foreman didn't come out and talk to me. He went back there and talked to him, and he told me the shop foreman said that he had put it next to a comparable truck and verified that they felt the same. I said, well, sir, I beg to differ. I bought this truck brand new, and that vibration was not there till you guys let the oil out. And he said, well, we're going to make it right with you, whatever we've got to do. What I need to do is get with my manager, the service manager, the general manager, all this stuff. And I said, fine, but we need to do something with this because this truck's now got 5,800 miles on it. So at $54,000, I've got $1,000 a mile into this truck, which is ridiculous. So after that, they supposedly looked at it again, and it still got the same vibration. So I pull it back around, and I go up front and ask for the general manager. Of course, the general manager is not available. It's Friday or Saturday afternoon, and we can't get to him. And you know, basically, too bad we already got your money. But the sales manager, he's a very nice young man, but comes out there and you can tell he's sales. Yes, sir, we're going to take care of you, no problem, blah, 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 blah. He did get the service manager involved, which I've never seen before. He got the shop manager involved out there, and another gentleman, I'm not even sure who he was, and he turned me over to them, and they said, okay, so we're going to do a comparable truck comparison, and it's a FX4, it's a 4-wheel drive, it's a $54,000 truck with 5,800 miles on it, and so they told the lot porter to go get a truck. Well, he comes pulling up in toward I can see him pulling up, and he's in a FX4, same model. Of course, it's newer as far as age, but same basic model. And I saw him wave him off, and then he went around the corner and talked to him. So in about 15 minutes, he comes rolling around, and he's got a stripped down shop truck that they used to haul parts in, and it's not even an FX4. It's not even the same truck at all. And they pull it up next to it, and I pull my bottle of water out and take it over there to it and set it up on there, and it's got a vibration, which is a running vibration. And I said, sir, this is not apples to apples. He was as rude as he could be, the shop foreman. He said, this is the best we got. I said, what about the other truck that matched my truck that you were pulling around to verify that the two trucks were the same? He goes, well, that's not the same thing because it's a brand new truck. I said, 1,500 miles is a brand new truck. And I said, how many miles does this have on it? He said, 20,000. I said, that's not comparison at all. No comparison at all. And he said, well, it's the best you're going to get. That's exactly what he said. That's the best you're going to get. And I said, so basically what you're telling me is that because you will not take responsibility for the mistake you made, that I end up with a truck with 5,800 miles on it that's got an internal motor damage that you are not going to stand behind. He said, well, I can't sell that to the Ford engineers. I said, that's not really my problem. I'm in the customer service business. I do plumbing, heating, and air, and electrical. When we make a mistake, we make it right. I have pulled complete systems out before and put them back in for the customer at no charge because they were not happy or there was an issue with something we did that we made a mistake. And I expect the same thing from you. And I said, our heating and air systems are not $54,000. So, and basically what he told me was, too bad, so sad. He didn't come out and say that, but he said, we're done. And this is the service manager. The shop foreman was the one that was rude to me. The service manager was just very demeaning. We're done with you. This is what we're going to do. And I said, guys, I am willing to work with you. It was your mistake. However, I do not want a truck that the internal motor is damaged. It's supposed to be on my retirement truck. If you have something on any of your lots that's even comparable to this, if I need to spend even a little bit of money, I'm not going to spend $20,000, $30,000, but I'm willing to work with you on a truck. If you got something a little newer or something, and you want to work, if you'll work with me on it, I'm willing to work with you to get through this. But I don't want a truck with a damaged motor, or I want you to fix the motor, or I want you to give me a warranty for perpetuity forever that says that if this motor goes bad, you're paying for it and it doesn't cost me a penny. That's not going to happen. And he said, we have to go by NADA Black Book price, so that's the best we're going to do for you. And I said, even though you damaged the motor, there's no damage to that motor. I can rip a motor down into the smallest parts. I build a motorcycle. I can build a motorcycle. I can make a Harley purr like a kitten. So I know what a miss is. And basically where they left it was too bad. So I said, I left a 1-star review on their website thinking I'd get something back from them. Nothing. The young man that came out there that was very nice to him, his name was Cody. I still remember his name. The sales guy, he gave me his cell number. So I tried calling him, and I'm not going to psycho call him. I called him and said, Cody, I'm not real happy with where this all came out. Where are we leaving this? What's going on? Are you guys done with me? Are we going to try to work something out? No answer. So I called again. No answer. So that's when I got on PissedConsumer and put it on there. Then I also filed one with the Better Business Bureau, and any place else I can file anything, I'm going to. And I don't think that they're doing what's right for the customer. I don't. It was their mistake, and you got to have oil in a motor for it to run. And when all the oil comes out because of something they did, they can't just hand me back their mess and go, we tightened it up. And the back, probably another part that bothers me too, it cost me $38 for the oil plus the time to go fill the oil back up. And when he checked it, he said the oil's fine. We don't need to do anything with it. I'm like, okay. The first time when it was loose, but I think I'm being amicable and reasonable, and all I want them to do is make it right. They don't have to give me a brand new truck. They don't have to swap me straight over. But I want to be made whole again. I want a truck. It ran so smooth. There was times that I reached up while it was running and turned the key and went, oops, because I hit the starter because it was already running. That's how smooth it ran. Now when I sit in it at the light, it sits there and does this, and it just makes me more and more and more angry at this place. So like I said, I'm trying to be professional about it, but they do not want to do what is right as from a customer standpoint, from a customer service standpoint. And basically what they've done is went, too bad, we washed our hands of you, good luck. So, and like, they won't even work with me. I came up with 3. The first one being pull the motor out, fix the motor, because it's internal damage. It's not going to show up on their little computers. It's mechanical damage. It's not going to show up. So either put a new motor in, or B, give me a unlimited mileage lifetime warranty on that drivetrain that is going to be 0 deductible to me in writing, that says if the motor blows up, we're going to tow it, we're going to get it into our shop, we're going to, in a timely manner, not park it out in the field, and fix the thing and get it back to me for no cost to me. Or the other option is, just like I said, if they can come up with a comparable truck, not some stripped down mess, and it's, even if it's, I understand it's a 2018 truck, but it's still got only 5,800 miles on it. If they can come up with something that's comparable truck and meet me halfway, I'm not talking about $20,000, $10,000 back up to. The truck is paid for. I worked extra hours. I did everything I could because it was supposed to be my retirement truck. So I made sure the truck is paid for. So there's nothing owed on it. And I don't want another payment. I doubled and tripled up and quadrupled up payments to get it paid for. So if there's a reasonable amount of money that they say, okay, we'll put you in a 2020, 2019, that's the same truck or better or comparable, then I'm more than willing to do that. I just want to be made whole again, and I don't want to sit in my brand new truck with it doing this with a knot in my stomach. And we're planning on traveling to, I'm not planning on, I have to travel for business to about a 13-hour drive. I'm scared to take that truck. I don't know that the internal motor is going to, I don't want to be down in the south part of Texas, 1,300 miles away from my house, and have the motor go out on me. I should not have that feeling with a brand new truck. I mean,